Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast, hosted by yours truly, Misty Magdalena Grace, also known as Magical Mags. I am an abundance alchemist, helping you alchemize fear into love, pain into purpose, scarcity or lack into abundance, so that you can live your best life, your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships by trusting your best wisdom within. Please enjoy the show, like and subscribe, and leave a review if you see value in this amazing show. And feel free to stay in till the end. You may have a surprise gift waiting for you on the other side of this episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Oh my gosh, it's December 3rd as of the time of this live recording, and I'm just so excited to have one of my final guests of the year, and it's a witchy one, so we're going to have lots of fun today, aren't we, Julie?
We totally are.
So I just want to welcome, if you're new to my channel, like you heard on the intro, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're on YouTube, you just never know. You may see something that was divinely inspired, a message that was meant just for you. And if you share this message, you might save a life. You might change a life. You might, if nothing else, add value to someone else. This is we're nearing in 400 episodes, my 5th year, and I'm super excited to keep just up leveling and bringing in high caliber divine feminine, specifically today, wisdom. So we're going to dive right in. I'll introduce my guest. Super excited to have you here today, Julie, my first ever officially Witchpreneur. She's the founder of the Art of Feminine business. She's a podcaster. She's a new friend of mine that I met through this world called Facebook. And I'm just so excited to have you here to talk about how to close out the year in a feminine way. First, I'd love for you, Julie, just to share a little bit about yourself and how you came to be this witchpreneur.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a long story. First of all, thank you for having me. It's always so much fun to be in your presence. So I'm really happy to be here. And I think it all started for me when I was 7 years old and we lived in a haunted house. But I didn't have anyone to really explain it to me or help me navigate. And I just was really scared, and I shut all of my psychic abilities down. I shut all of the connection down and became a really good Catholic girl who, got married. I was almost 19, got married, had my first child, my second child, my third, my fourth child, had all these babies right in a row because I was being a good Catholic girl. Ended up marrying my high school sweetheart who never really matured past an angry 12-year-old. And so I spent 20 years in this, raising my kids in this abusive environment, afraid to leave because I didn't think I could make the money to be able to support my kids. And I was afraid that he and his mother would take my kids away from me, and then I wouldn't be there to protect them. And so I stayed for a long time. And at the end of that marriage, it just became unsustainable. And I started to tap back into those psychic powers, the connection to source. And I had this conversation with my highest self, who said to me, "Oh, you can stay in the marriage. It's fine. You'll die, but you could stay, or you could do the scary thing and leave and create the life that you're really meant to live here." And so I left, and it started that spiritual reawakening. It started me down that pathway to what's the work I'm really meant to do. And, 10 or 15 years down the road, I had certified to become a life coach. I was working with women entrepreneurs, and I was sneaking magic into all of my sessions because I never talked about it, right? I talked about funnels and websites and strategies. And then I would say to my clients, "Oh, that's your inner child. Let's go do some healing work with your inner child." Or let's tap into your highest self and see what direction your business wants to go, right? So I was doing these magic things. I was writing spells for my clients that they didn't know I was writing. I was doing all this stuff. And I think part of me didn't know I was doing it. It just was naturally what was coming through. And a few years ago, as I was writing my my magic quiz to help women discover their innate money-making abilities and what would work better for them, because we're all unique and different. And some of us make money one way and some of us make money another way. And the gurus don't tell you that. They just say, do my way. So I was writing this quiz and all this content, and the word witchpreneur came up. And I was just like, yes, that's it exactly. I'm not just an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur who mixes in magic, who mixes in spirituality, who talks to goddess energy, who talks to the energy of money about what are we going to do and the energy of my business. And it all just kind of wrapped together into this one beautiful made up word. And of course, I then did the practical thing and went and trademarked the word. So it belongs to me, but other people can call themselves witchpreneurs as well, because I really think it fits for us witchy magic women who are so committed to making a lot of money, because when women have money, we can change the world.
Amen. Woo woo. I love that. Oh my gosh. That's got me so excited. I didn't even know you had a trademark. I think that's fucking amazing. And I just want to also say, because I've started coming out of the spiritual broom closet about 2 years ago when I renamed myself Missy Magdalena Grace, which was all about the divine feminine and being in the flow and abundance, alchemy, and all of that. So if someone is watching us for the first time and they're curious, maybe the word witch even triggers them, I'd love for you, I'll share mine, but I'd love for you first to maybe you already did, but maybe in a direct, succinct way, define what witch means.
Yeah, I love that. And I am reclaiming that word. A witch is someone, male or female, who taps into divine energy and aligns with the energy of divine energy to create results on the planet.
Beautiful.
Hopefully the results they desire.
Yeah, we're not talking about black magic or hexing, although, you know, I suppose we technically, if anybody realizes that our thoughts are prayers, prayer, magic, spell, energy, like to me, a lot of these words are synonymous and they're connected. I believe Jesus Christ himself was a witch in his own right, a shaman. You know, some people say shaman. I do prefer witch, and I love that you delineated that it can be male, because I'm in a pagan witches group and there's dudes in there just as much as there's women. However, we go back thousands of years, and maybe this will be a good segue. You know, when I really discovered or remembered that I was a witch in many lifetimes, had been burned at the stake, drowned, drugged behind, you know, horse carts with my, you know, neck surrounded by a belt or something. I realized, like, whoa, wait a minute, I am magic. I do have the Midas touch. And guess what? We all do. It's just the divine feminine got raped and pillaged. Pachamama got raped and pillaged. You know, the patriarchy shut down the word witch. The church shut down the word witch. And I say church, you know, in quotation marks, because I don't want to sound like I'm down necessarily on these things, but it's truth. It's factual. It's historical. And this is making a comeback now because the divine feminine is waking up and helping us all balance our feminine and masculine energy. And to me, that's where witch comes back from ancient times, where we were abundant. We believed in magic. We believed in love. We loved one another. We didn't look at land as raping and pillaging and mine and yours and all of this crap. It's slowly going away. So people need to understand why this is coming back. So that was just a little heads up for any of you listening as to why are they talking about this, especially now. And I want to defer back to you. And as we talk about reclaiming this word in a healthy, you know, light way, as we close out the year, a lot of people tend to have depression, or they have money issues, or they're stressed out about family. They're stressed out about a lot of things that maybe didn't go the way they thought should this year. How do we want to help people today, you know, focus on closing out the year in a feminine way, and maybe first define what that means?
Yeah, so I think that what happens, at the end of the year is we get caught up in the swirl. And anytime society is able to catch us in a swirl, they're able to take us away from our connection to the divine, right? So we're caught up in, like this afternoon, I have to go buy cookie dough because my granddaughter and her friends are coming over to make cookies tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're doing family dinner. And then on Saturday, I have a party. And then I have to meet up with friends that I done blah, 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 blah. And do I have the right thing to wear to my husband's Christmas party, right? All that stuff can get into your head and get you spinning. Mm-hmm. And this is the time of year where we can really practice being in devotion to our divine feminine. And so even in all of that, I can take 5 minutes and I can go stand on the earth. I can feel Mama Earth rise up. You and I, before we started, we just took a few breaths and we returned to center, right? I can say to Money, okay, dude, I don't have 20 minutes today to talk to you, but I can drop in and I can say, Money, what do you most desire for me today? And I can take 3 minutes to do that. So part of this is just remembering to return to our practices when we get spun out. And it doesn't mean we have to sit and meditate for an hour if we don't have an hour. It means we can tap in and just take 3 deep breaths. But I think there's more at the end of the year, at the turning of the clock. And I know it's all artificial. What we have decided is the turning of the clock, but it feels very meaningful to us. And when society has created this whole spell work around it, I think it's important. The first thing is to really review your previous year and celebrate. We're so apt to look at what we haven't done rather than looking at what we've completed, looking at how far we've come. Sometimes just looking at, wow, I survived a really chaotic year, right? And celebrate that. Instead of celebrating, the mistletoe, celebrate every client that you had this year, every piece of work you completed, every little thing deserves celebration because it wasn't done before. It's done now. And then the second thing is that leads us into what didn't get done that maybe you wanted to. And there's this beautiful ritual one of my clients told me about years and years ago, and I think it's a Jewish ritual, but I could be wrong. So somebody who's Jewish can tell me. But that at the end of the year, their goals are not like unmet. It's simply a letting go of the things that didn't get done that year, right? Let it go. And her church actually went down to the ocean and wrote on slips of paper all those things that didn't get done and threw them into the ocean. Maybe we want to throw something that's not going to create waste, but I've had clients write it on river stones and then throw it into the river, right? And so we just want to let it go. Now, if it's a goal that's important, it'll come back, and that's okay. But we want to clear space. We want to end the year clear in that spaciousness of now what's possible. And so I think it's really important that we really review this and we say, wow, I had a goal to launch a membership this year and I didn't do it. And I'm just going to let that go without any guilt, without beating myself up. It's just beautiful. It didn't happen. Maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe it wasn't meant to happen or it's not meant to happen, but I'll look at whether I want to bring that back. The same thing with resentments or anger. We want to look at that. We want to let it go. We want to clear the slate, not for anybody else, but for ourselves. So what can I let go of? Because when we let go, I also really like to clean my closets this time of year. Although I do keep a Goodwill box going all year, but I want to get rid of it before the end of the year. I want to get rid of what no longer serves me before the year ends. So I'm opening space for what new wants to come in.
I love that. Why wait for spring cleaning? Why wait for New Year's resolutions? I mean, it's a time to slow down and take stock. I want to touch on something you said. The when we get into our head and we're in the human doing, at least for me, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts and why we were talking about the feminine versus the masculine. A lot of the doing, the go, 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 like the advertising, the media, they're all casting spells for us to buy more stuff and to do more things and to go more parties. And then there's the whole family obligation thing, which is also patriarchal, toxic, masculine. So a lot of us are operating under spells and we didn't even know it. And so to be able to shift out of that human doing, I'm going to just throw out some advice and then turn it back over to you is less is more. Why do you have to do all the things? Are you slowing down and actually asking yourself, do I really want to go to this family gathering? Do I really have to? What is driving my decision on that? Tap into your intuition, feminine flow. Is it a full body, hell yes? Discernment, that's also a little masculine getting into the mix, but it's intuitive discernment. So I like to bring them together when it
Yeah.
makes sense. So those are my 2 cents. What do you think, Julie?
Yeah, 100%. Is this something that feels like it will nourish my soul? Is a great question. And, for me, I have all these little grandkids. So it's always like anytime, like I said, we're making cookies tomorrow. And that seems like an extra doing thing, but it's really about the experience of spending time with my little grandkids who are not so little. They're not going to do this with me much longer. But it is, yes, that nourishes my soul. Do I want to do a community party? Probably not. That's not going to nourish me. That's just going to drain me. So yes, I think that discernment, does it really nourish you? And trusting your body to tell you, if your body closes up, that's a no. And we don't listen to our body. We don't listen to the fullness. So I love that. And then I think the next step as we close out the year is really allow ourselves to be in dream space. As business owners, we're like, I need a New Year's launch,
Business.
and I need a strategy. And what am I going to do the first 3 months? And what does this look like? And what does this look like? And as business owners, we need to take time throughout the year, not just now, but this is a really good time to be in the dream space. And I always think about Persephone during this time. When Persephone is underground, when Persephone goes into the darkness, and Persephone is the queen of the underworld. She's not this innocent that the patriarchy has made her out to be, stolen woman. She's down there doing her work. And I think that we need to recognize that work includes going into the shadow, going into the darkness, going into the what if and the possibilities, and allowing those dreams to form themselves before we go ahead and plug in our divine masculine, write a marketing strategy and create launch and create content and all of that. This is a beautiful time of year to just be in that space and to nurture ourselves. So doing a bubble bath and just being in that space of what if. I love the question, what else is possible? And then what else is possible? That doesn't mean I'm going to do all that stuff. I just love being in the question, because in the question of what else is possible, the feminine can feed us. That's where new ideas come from. That's where solutions come that have never been thought of before to the problems the world has. That is where the energy of money can speak to us. And money can say, hey, why don't you open this door and more of me can flow in through you? And then you can use me to do this good in the world, right? So having those inner conversations, tapping in, dreaming. I love my money conversations. I love to have conversations with money and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this and charging that. And, and money will go, well, let me add my wisdom here.
I definitely want to. I do want to talk to money, but something else that you brought up that I just want to highlight again because anybody who knows me, I love alchemy. I love Carl Jung. I love shadow work, and actually, because I didn't want to wait till the new year, and this is such a potent time to go into the shadows. Next week, I have a 5-day take a break from drinking, smoking, vaping meditation challenge for women. So I just want to remind people of that. So even if it's not with me, finding ways to go into the shadows and doing the work. And I would open to you, Julie, if you have any guidance on where people could, start to do that besides anything else.
Yeah, I think there's space. Uh, I love noticing. So, coincidence. What's showing up in your world? What's repeatedly showing up in your world? This year we have a little fox that comes visits us. And the last couple of months, there've been 1 or 2 foxes that come by every night. Before that, we had coyote, and my granddaughter named him Jorge. So I'll say to my husband, "Hey, Jorge was on the ring cam last night," and there was a time period this summer where Jorge came by every night. I would see him coming by the ring cam, and so it was just I started to notice that, and then I sat down and I said, "What does coyote medicine bring me? What are the messages that are coming through?" Paying attention to, like, are people saying the same words to you repeatedly? Which will also happen when source is trying to get your attention. Or what dreams are you having? Before I moved back to California, where I was raised, I lived in Washington State, and I was asking the question, should I go back? Should I move back? What does that mean for my family? And I had a dream one night, and I remember waking up and I heard this Jewish voice saying to me, "Do you want a whale?" What's his name wouldn't go where he was supposed to go. Who was the guy who was
Jonah?
Jonah. He wouldn't go. He wouldn't listen. We had to throw him in a whale. Do you want a whale? And it was like I didn't brush that off. I listened to it. I came back to California and I built this amazing life that I have now that really suits me. And so I think there's a place for listening at the edges of your consciousness, listening to your dreams, listening to thoughts that come into your head that you go, "Oh, where did that come from?" And really paying attention to that kind of stuff. There was one more thing. And then you can also use art. You can, and I don't mean art as in painting a picture of something. I mean, get out a big piece of paper and get out some oil pastels and just kind of swoosh them onto the page and let your mind clear and see what shows up. Or, squirt some paints out and get your fingers into it. Do a whole body, and allow yourself, because so often, even when we're doing that kind of stuff, we're like, I need to color in the lines. And when we allow ourselves to move and shift and be, that's when new things start flowing through. That's when the feminine speaks. Oh, and I'll throw one more out since I said body movement. Throw on some good music and dance.
Yeah.
Right? Get out of your head, get into your body. The body knows. And that's a very feminine practice for any time you need to tap in. Is like, just dance, just get out of your head for 3 minutes.
Love it. Oh my gosh. I hope you all were taking notes and you'll want to re-listen to this because these are all great things to do over the holiday season and get your kids involved, your grandkids, your partner, your friends. A lot of times people have seasonal affective disorder this time of year, because I believe, again, we're not in alignment with our ancestors. This is a time to slow down and hibernate and introspect and have more fun and do the shadow work and all of the things that you just mentioned. So quickly, before we wrap up, this is Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. My show is definitely all about helping people tap into that inner wisdom and different tools and different perspectives. And so since you are the witchypreneur who loves to talk about money, is there anything, as people let's face it, the economy is really intense right now financially. Inflation, everything is more expensive, it seems like. And so people are hurting, people are struggling. And there are those that are not, but I think even people who are millionaires have told me they've been like holding back on their spending because of certainty and this, that, and the other thing, the tariffs, all of it. So we know that a lot of that's 3D. We know a lot of this is an illusion. I get all of that. And yet people like to have food with their meals. So how, if you could give like maybe just two quick tips on how they can shift their relationship with money other than what you've already said so far.
Well, I think first is understanding the nature of money. Money is energy. We have decided what it means. And the patriarchy, as it struggles to hold on to power, is controlling our perspective on that energy of money, which is creating an illusion that money is scarce. And a reality, a physical reality that money is scarce. So first, just understand its energy, and then really, talk to money, have those conversations, honor it, give gratitude for it. When you pay your bills, send love with your bills. Let's get some more love into circulation. And so let's attach it to money as we send the money out, because money likes higher vibrations, and it will flow first to the higher vibration. So let's flow it out with love, especially in this month, which should be about love. Isn't that what this month should be about? Isn't that what family gatherings and friends and all of it should be about? So let's attach love to money whenever we spend it. Let's all do that and see what happens in the world in January. Here's a challenge.
Love that. Yeah. And especially with this powerful, potent time, you talked about letting go rituals. Tomorrow, at the time of this recording anyway, there's a full moon, the biggest super moon. We won't see this again until 2042. We have the 1212 portal. People, do your letting go rituals and call in money and invite money into your ritual. We have the solstice coming up, right? We have 3-eye Atlas. We're not even going to get into all of that because we're running out of time, but just knowing that the energies, the galactics, are supporting us to purge out the shadows. So let go of the scarcity, the lack, the abandonment, the power over, the greed, the stuff. I'll just share personally, transparently, a way that I shifted. So I'm divorced, and we talked earlier a little bit about a haunted house. Well, I have a whole nother story around that I will share someday, probably in a fiction novel, about my own journey with haunted houses. But at the end of the day, at this time after divorce, we're not able to, in this 3D realm, afford 2 households. So I am still living with my ex, which is not easy. And at the same time, I was like, okay, universe, okay, so I may not have the financial means to go and pay for another place. What other options? What if, like you said, what else is possible? Right? And so guess what? Right now, I'm sitting in a beautiful home in Ramona, away from my partner, my former partner. I have another property I'm going to tomorrow. I've become a nomad, which feeds my soul. I'm taking my kids around, and we're getting all of these beautiful places to stay for free, and or some kind of sacred exchange that doesn't involve money, because we are going back in this time of age of Aquarius. It's not all about money, it's resources, it's sacred exchange of energy and love. Love is at the core root of all of these opportunities I'm finding. So I also want to remind you folks out there, like she said, Julie, what else is possible? Because if you shut down, it has to look a certain way, which is again rigid masculine energy, right? Then you shut yourself down to you block your blessings, basically.
Yes. Look for the doors. Look for the doors, sources opening for you.
Beautiful. I just have a couple announcements. Thank you so much, Julie. I know that I'm going to watch this show again. I have a couple things for you, but before I do, just some quick reminders and announcements for my community. My Take a Break challenge for women only. Sorry, guys, this is a women's only online circle, Monday through Friday next week, heading into the 1212 portal, leveraging the power of this dark time, this season of winter we're heading into, preparing you for holiday season, helping you move through sad if you are affected by this also if you struggle with addictions. I know for me, I always hated this time of year, to be candid, because of the holidays, because of my religion wound, my witch wound, all of the things, and not really wanting to do the family obligation thing. So turned and leaned into my addictions for far too long. And so if you struggle with smoking, drinking, vaping, people pleasing, toxic relationships with men, or even just anything, social media, smartphones, anything that you escape or numb out with, we're going to go inward for 5 days. And if you are interested in the microdosing with psilocybin, you do get to sign up today, December 3rd, in order to receive the shipment in time, but you don't have to. And it's only $22 with about a $500 value. So sign up at magdalenagrace.com. If you have questions, go to info. Email me at info@magdalenagrace.com. And again, if you saw value today, please hit the share button with especially women, witchpreneurs that you know could benefit from this message, but anyone who may be going through a darker period during this final month of 2025. So without further ado, again, Julie, I'd love for you to, I'll have one more question for you to close it out, but where can people find you and what do you have as a free gift for them today?
Yeah, they can find me in our Facebook group, Feminine Business Magic, which is a great place to join us for our rituals and our, all the free stuff we give away. I also have a quiz that I would love to have everybody take. It's my Witchpreneur quiz, and it tells you with 7 easy questions, so it's not forever. It's a short quiz, but it really pinpoints your unique Witchpreneur type and gives you some ideas of how that particular type makes money the best. And some of the things you can do to really elevate your money, because like I said, women with money are changing the world. That's how we change the world. So yeah, I would love to invite everybody to take the test and then join us in the Facebook group.
Beautiful. And I'll put those links in the show notes. So if you don't see them right away, folks on the live, don't sweat it. They will be out there. And if you're on my email list, you'll also receive them as well. Thank you so much for your generosity, Julie. Since this is your first time on my show, I always ask first-time guests the closing question in 30 seconds or less. When you hear the phrase healthy and wealthy and wise, what does it mean for you?
It means aligned with my soul desires, with source energy, and living the divine.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you. I know I'm going to be on your show later this month. December 23rd is when it comes out on Julie's podcast. Check out her podcast, everyone. Sign up and check out her quiz. And I look forward to maybe having one more guest this month. I don't know. I'm sort of leaning into the feminine and looking forward to coming back with the runes reading for the full moon. So stay tuned, everyone. Until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, and relationships by trusting your best wisdom, which all lies within each and every one of us. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.